on Central Expressway in Dallas, about a mile from where Rice played at SMU. Police say a Corvette and a Lamborghini were speeding in the far left lane when the drivers lost control, causing a chain reaction collision that involved 4 other cars. 2 drivers were treated for minor injuries at the scene. 2 other passengers were taken to the hospital and treated for minor injuries. A police summary provided to USA Today said the occupants of the Lamborghini and the Corvette all ran from the scene without stopping to determine if anyone needed medical help or providing their information. According to the Dallas Morning News, Rashee Rice is listed as the suspected driver of the Corvette. We obviously don't have full details yet, but Keyshawn, what are your thoughts on athletes being involved in incidents of this nature?
Well, first of all, this is unfortunate for Rashee. Because I know him, and he's old enough to know better. So I'm pissed at him. I've already texted him. He ain't going to respond to me because my text was not nice. Okay, I spent plenty of time with him last year, before the draft, doing the draft process, doing all the whole thing.
Where?
Here in Los Angeles. Here in Los Angeles. And in Dallas as well. To get him to understand the life is getting ready to start. It's going to be different now. You can't, because he had, coming out, into the draft, he had, some SMU, little red flag here, little red flag there. He wasn't the squeakiest, cleanest guy going. The Kansas City Chiefs.
Which is why he fell to the second round.
Yeah, which is why he probably fell to the second round instead of the late first.
Yep.
Went into a great situation in Kansas City in a great environment.
The best.
And they know how to handle situations that may be a little rocky coming in. But I'm genuinely mad at him, okay? Because he knows better, and I know he knows better. I understand you want to be with the homies and you want to hang out. I get all of that. But everybody should know better, okay? Because in the end, all it takes is this. It just takes that. All you got to do a couple years ago is look at Henry Ruggs, okay? I knew him too. They tried to tell Henry the same thing. Say, man, you can't be, it's different now. It's different. You ain't going to get that pass the way you would in college on certain situations. It's a National Football League. Now, look, I don't know if he was driving. I don't know if he wasn't driving. I don't know if he was in the car. I don't know none of that. His name is linked to the vehicle because of the registration. So I'm hoping somebody stole his car. I don't know. I have no idea. But if he's involved in it, it's the stupidest thing that he ever could be involved in, let alone your own driving fast cars and racing somebody is the stupidest thing ever, man. I'm just telling you, I'm being honest with you. I have a sports car. And whenever I'm going over a speed limit that I shouldn't be going over, somebody, you know how they get on, somebody else get on the side and want to try to race, I just slow down like I lost my mind. Let me move on out the way. Y'all go ahead and y'all race, because I'm not in my car to race. If I want to race, I'll go to a track. But I'm so mad at him, man. I really am. I'm mad at him because he knows better. He knows better.
Well, Key, you said you don't know if he was in the car.
I don't know.
Yeah,
still waiting on the information.
I'm not going to speculate on all of this. For right now, all I know is the car is registered to him. The only thing I could be upset about him is probably not turning himself in, because they are looking for you. They're looking for some answers. You don't want your name to linger into the social media with the police officers for too long. They just want some answers, and if nothing was really wrong, then you should go and answer to them and move forward from this. I mean, running from the crime scene, it's not a crime scene. People got hurt, but you can't leave an accident. But I don't know if it was him either.
I don't know.
Who knows if it's his brother or cousin, and we live in such a time to where people want to film everything. I don't know if he wants to get away from the scene. If he's there, and you got people with camera phones and want to post you and embarrass you all over social media, I don't know what the answers is to all of that. That could be something, but at least answer the questions to what the police need to come ask you. Don't prolong this, because then you got us wasting time talking about these things, and it could have been nothing. So, that's all I got to say.
The reason I say I don't know if he was driving, because I don't know. We don't have all the information, as you alluded to, Skip.
We don't.
There's pictures and video that surface out there that have very similar look. It look like Rashee. It just does.
It does.
The dreads, the body structure, so you don't know, because it's not a clear cut, that's him and who he is.
Yeah, agreed.
The reason, look, I just know, man, that when you grow up a certain way, and he's from the Dallas area, and he grew up a certain way.
It's like a Fort Worth suburb.
Yeah, from Fort Worth suburb.
Yeah.
You grow up a certain way. You got friends around you and people around you. Now you done made it. You won a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? You're making money. You get ready to, if you continue, you get ready to be one of the highest paid receivers in the history of the game 3 years from now. All of those sort of things. You got to just pick your surroundings and the people. It's okay to bring them along with you. But you bring the right people along with you, because if the ones that's with you don't want to eat lobster and steak, then you shouldn't rock with them. That's real talk. It makes me angry, Skip, because anything could happen if he was in the car and driving it. Anything can happen. He could lose his life. He can kill somebody else. All of that. Yeah, again, I must say this before I give it to you. All you got to do is look at Henry Ruggs. Just look at that.
Yeah.
Just look at that situation.
All right. First of all, whoever was involved in this, whoever was driving, is so lucky nobody got killed. Right. So lucky, because at that high rate of speed on that expressway, which Keyshawn and I know very well, I lived there for a long time. You played there for a while. It's a very dangerous freeway. Runs right up through the middle of Dallas to the north and south. But the point is, when you involve 4 other cars and cars are spinning right and left.
There was a baby in one of those cars.
Oh, God. All right. So, look, I own a Corvette, and it has 755 horsepower. And I always kid around like it's a rocket ship. And every time I come to work, I'll get on it a little bit, because when we're out coming to work, nobody's out. But it's made for the track, and I'm pretty sure his was made for the track. It's not made for the city streets, and I would never, ever think about racing it on the city streets. I'll mess around with it, but I always tell my wife, Ernestine, it is a death machine. You got to be really careful with it, as you got to be with your car. But this one is crazy fast, and I don't know exactly which one he was driving. But the point was, and is, he fell into the greatest situation you could ever fall into. You're playing with one of the greatest quarterbacks ever, the best quarterback of this generation right now with his Super Bowls, 3 out of 4 years. You couldn't be in a sweeter spot. You emerged as the star receiver. Obviously, they went and got Hollywood Brown, but you're still it, man. You're still going to be the number one. And now you've risked it all. And the truth is, Keyshawn, everything you told him before the draft just fell on deaf ears, because he's like, no, it's me. It's me. It's me you're talking to. And yet, in a flash, it all can be gone. Just in an instant, your whole career can be gone. He made $2.5 million last year, which is not huge money, but by most people's standards, that's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he's scheduled to make $1 million next year. So it was compounded, insult to small injuries. At least you have to have the wherewithal, if you're involved in it and you look around and you hope nobody's hurt. The best thing he could have done was just stand strong and just wait for the police, because it's the only way to get out of it. It's the only way to get out.
If he was there, they ran from that doesn't make. I don't know, man. The decisions some of the young athletes make.
Yeah.
Driving cars and doing those sort of things. It's unbelievable to me. Every single year I find myself having to have these type of conversations about something that occurred at a club, or somebody not having security with them and getting into issues where all of a sudden they get into a fight, or they driving under the influence and all of a sudden they get into an accident and they wrap their car around a pole. Every single year this conversation comes up, and I just don't understand it. I don't get it.
You start to speculate, because if it's just an accident, you're like, all right, wait on the police, we'll figure it out. But then when you leave the scene, whoever it is, you speculate now.
Yeah.
Was there some illegal things going on? Are you hiding something?
Yes.
So the longer you wait to address the situation, the more people speculate, and it's not a good look. And so hopefully he comes out, or whoever was involved with the accident comes out and gives us some light on, what really happened that day, because...
That's why I said I hope his car was stolen. That's all I can hope for.
Yeah, if it was stolen, he probably would have reported it by now.
I
yeah,
get it,
hope,
Paul. I'm just hoping.
But like,
I'm just